Does exercise give you anxiety? Well, today I'm going to talk about anxiety and the relationship with exercise, and is a healthy relationship with anxiety and exercise possible? And what are my strategies to deal with the anxiety of exercise? Well, I'm an anxious person in general. I made a video yesterday about body tension, and I have a lot of tension in my jaw, in my face, hands, okay, neck, and I'm tense. And so I have all these different strategies that I've talked about in my practice in the video before, where I shake things out and I try to release tension. I do breathing, sighing, meditation. I have a lot of different things that help me relieve tension, along with just massage and stuff like that. But that tension comes from anxiety. You're fearful of what's going to happen. You're thinking about the future, and it gets into your head, and you're like, right? Well, for me, that feeling of anxiousness travels in my body, and I have this tension. But no more so in many parts of my life when I was working out many days a week, and I was like, man, I get all this anxiety before I work out, because I know, number one, it's going to be really hard. Okay, I push myself in the gym. It's going to be mentally, physically taxing. I have to have, I'm a personal trainer, so wherever I go, I have to be perfect. So if I'm at a gym, I have to be perfect in every single repetition. I beat myself up if I don't do it to the full of my abilities. Let's just say last week I did 10 repetitions of something. And let's just say this week I get to 8, and I'm like, I don't want to do 8, 2 more to get to 10, or 11 like I should to beat what I did last week. If I do 8, I beat myself up. So I'm anticipating this, well, you have to do it. And I get inside my own head, and that's my pattern for my whole life. Well, the way that I train now is conducive to that relationship with anxiety, because it's not going to go away. Welcome to a positive meeting with the Fit Philosopher. JD's my name, but with my channel, welcome to positivity. Hey, anxiety is not going away. Well, is there a healthy relationship? Well, I talked about in another video about overtraining. And if you're not a little bit anxious to work out, if you're not kind of jacked up and vibrating a little bit and kind of, all right, let's go, this is going to be tough. If you're not in that state, you might be overtraining, because you might just be like, oh, it's another training session. So that a little bit, it's okay. But if you're like dreading your workout, it's going to be so hard. And you're nervous about it, that maybe you're doing a movement that's really, really dangerous. I used to do those deadlifts, squats, heavy weights, and that would freak me out even more. Now I set up my program to where I'm not anxious about the movements themselves. In the past I was. So imagine I'm already a worrier, nervous person, anxious. Then on top of that, I'm adding this technical lift with heavy weights that I could screw up and land on my ass, especially in front of other people. I don't like being embarrassed. So that's another fear. I have all these different things going on. So how do I train now? Well, now I train very intense. So I know it's going to suck, but that's how all my training was. I always trained hard, but now I do it for a short period of time. So my bouts of anxiety before working out are short-lived, and I dive right into it, and I'm done quickly. And I have that in my mind. Hey, it's only going to be for 20 to 30 minutes. Just work your ass off for that time. Whereas before, I would be 20 minutes into it, and I would be dreading the next 20 minutes. I'd be looking at the clock going, oh man, I still have to do all these other exercises on top of this. And it would give me even more anxiety. So that relationship that I have with my program allows me to be free. Now, maybe you're one of the types of people that you love being in the gym. You enjoy it. Well, this video is obviously not for you. It doesn't give you anxiety, but for me it did. And I was a trainer, and I was in the gym all the time. But when it came to my training, I had anxiety about it, because I had to be perfect. I knew I was going to push myself really hard, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be, this great trainer, and I wouldn't be practicing what I preach, and blah, blah, blah. And then I would do all these technical lifts, and then it was so much. And so I love the program that I have now, where I work out once or twice a week, all out, 20 to 30 minutes. I turn it up to level 10, but I'm in and I'm out. And I don't have to think about it. I remember leaving the gym in the past, because I used to train 6-7 days a week for an hour and a half. And I get better results now than I ever have. I'm going to link to Jay Vincent and to Doug McGuff so that you guys can have some more resources on the programming itself. I might make videos on that myself, but again, today's video is this topic, but I like to link to those guys because they really helped me find a way to get the best program for me. And it's science-based. It's not their opinion. I say those two people, but they're just looking at what does the muscle do, what does the body do under certain loads, and they're going after physics and physiology. It's not their opinion. This is how they've found science to align with our goals, which my goal is building muscle, building strength, looking good, feeling good, protecting my joints, preventing injury, all of that kind of stuff, limiting injury. So, my program it allows me to not have this anxiety, because I would leave the gym and I would be like, I have to do that again tomorrow, fuck. And my anxiety would start again just right away, because again, I can think about so many different things and have this dread over me. So for me, the fact that I've taken that pressure off and I can go, okay, if I don't have it today, I leave the gym. If I'm not, feeling like I'm up for it, I can leave. I can take a week off. So I love that that's part of my program, and I know that that's not going to hurt me. I know that, hey, I'm going to hit it hard, and yeah, I'm going to be a little bit anxious because it's going to suck, but I'm not going to, carry that on week or day after day after day, every single day. I get to work out now with this intense program. It still gives me anxiety, but that's a good thing in the sense that if it's not overwhelming to the point that my nervous system burns out before I do one repetition, if I have a healthy level of anxiety, that's going to boost me into, getting crazy and getting nuts in my workout. But if I have that every single day, that limits my gains. That limits the amount of effort that I can put out on that next day, but it taxes my nervous system. And again, I'm more nervy than most people, so I have to be wary of that. So if you're like me, your program should probably be less frequent. It should still be intense because that's how we get the results, but it should be less frequent. You should be focusing on rest days, and you should be focusing on lower intensity things if you still want to do other exercise that, like dancing or walking or, doing sort of movement. But in regard to strength training, like the technical things that I was talking about, squats and deadlifts, if you're doing that all the time, for me, it got in my head and it just was taxing my nervous system all the time. So that relationship you have with your program, with, again, understanding yourself, that is going to be crucial into regulating how much anxiety you have. And then in regard to exercise, and if it's something that you carry off outside of it as well, like I said, I have this anxiety all the time, and it's something that I work on because I practice meditation and I have programs for, relaxing. I talked about releasing, through wiggling out and shaking out and foam rolling and massaging. And I take things like cold showers that allow me to get in this crazy state to be able to allow me to relax in that stressful environment. So I'm doing things for myself that help me throughout the day combat my anxiety. I know that when I have my exercise days, I'm going to have that anxiety because, hey, it's healthy. You are going to be doing something challenging. And if you don't have that fear, if you don't have that anxiety, you probably are overtrained, or you probably need to change your program because it's not hard enough. Okay, that's as simple as that. It should be hard. But if it's getting to the point where you're dreading it every single week and you don't see the benefits of it and it's just taxing you and you're doing it so frequent and you're doing it so often. And again, I was victim to that. I was training too often, too much, too long, too much volume, too many sets and reps, and it was destroying other parts of my life. I remember just being exhausted all the time. And I was overtraining. But this is what I thought everyone was doing. I thought everyone was doing this because that's what I learned in my certifications in my school. I'm certified and I have a degree in kinesiology. So this is the stuff that I thought was mainstream, but I thought it was me. And I used to then beat myself up over it, which then caused more anxiety. So this circle is not healthy. And if you can jump out of that by making sure that your program fits you. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to be intense. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to be challenging. But you have to find that healthy relationship with what can you do to get results and keep yourself sane. And for me, I've found that with 1 to 2 hard bouts of exercise, 20 to 30 minutes. I do 1 set to all out failure. And again, I've been able to train myself to be able to get to that level. You might take some training. You might need to talk to Jay, or hey, talk to me. I can help you. I am a personal trainer, certified, degree, all that stuff. I know what it takes to get to that level of intensity safely and effectively to get to your goals of, really gassing out that muscle and making it really work so that you can get the results. If you don't understand how you can get there, just piling on more sets and more reps or 2-a-days and doing all this, it's not going to take you to where you want to go unless if you have the genetics for it, or unless if you're on gear, or unless if, again, like I said, and this doesn't apply to you, if you really enjoy it. But if you're not getting the results and you're dreading your workouts, take some time off, focus, get a program that's going to get you results, that you understand scientifically the reasons behind. That's why I send people to Jay Vincent and Dr. Doug McGuff, and it's not complicated to figure out. It's not like you need to do an 8-week course to figure out why your muscles respond. I've talked about it in videos. Jay Vincent, you go on any one of his things, any of his live chats, he'll answer these questions and you'll figure it out real quick. It's the same thing. We figured this stuff out in the 70s. We know what it is, but there's so much information out there. That might be another reason. There's so much information out there. What do? I go to the gym. Oh, do I have to do biceps, triceps, arms, this, that? Oh no, I should do a split routine. I should do upper body, lower body. No, you should do 5 sets of 5. No, you should do 2 sets of 10. You should do 3 sets of 10. You should do, no. You need to do low reps, all right? You need to do 2 repetitions, 3 repetitions max, but you need to do 6, 7, 8 sets. It gets anxious. If you're someone like me that's not interested in this stuff, it can be overwhelming. So for me, a little bit of anxiety before is what's going to help me get into that state of mind to get me energized to work out. But if it's like that all the time, and if I'm like dreading my workout 2 days in advance, that's not good. All right. You want to be excited to work out, a little bit anxious. And then once you're done, you're focusing on your recovery. For me, that's diet, that's nutrition. That's my video that I made a couple days ago, rest, relaxation, sleep, nutrition, supplements, water, electrolytes. Those things are what my focus is. And then I get the recovery, and then I'm ready to go when I come back into the gym. And I don't have that fear of, oh, I have to do this again tomorrow. Oh, this is going to be so hard. Oh, I'm still sore. I'm still so achy, but I know I have to do it because I have to hit the muscle group twice a week. Well, if you can put that stuff aside, again, follow the people that create results with clients, and it's not just some show, all right, then Jay Vincent, Doug McGuff, Drew Bay. I'll link to Drew Bay as well with the hit list, and he's got a YouTube channel. He's got tons of great information. Science-based stuff. Yeah, you're gonna have to train hard, but maybe you don't have to train as often. If you're like me, you'll get a lot out of this, because once a week I can get great results. Twice a week I can get great results. I can take a week off and not let it crush my psyche and think, oh, I'm going backwards. So that's a relationship, anxiety, and exercise. If you're like me, you might get something out of this video, and that's it for today.